The Philippine Navy's Offshore Combat Force comes from the forefront of the service branch's push for external defense, as this is managing the fleet's capital warships, which include the ones considered the most sophisticated and state-of-the-art naval vessel that the country has presently, as a byproduct of the ongoing AFP modernization program. In this video, we will delve into the details of the Offshore Combat Force's fleet power, whereby the numbers and other relevant information about each vessel are discussed in further detail. As described, the Philippine Navy's Offshore Combat Force is a unit within the Naval Service Branch of the Philippine Armed Forces, primarily responsible for conducting missions relating to the country's territorial defense, something that is currently fully in line with the entire government's recent push in gearing the armed forces in territorial defense or external defense. The Philippine Navy's Offshore Combat Force is the one responsible for conducting territorial defense missions, which is not surprising as its naval vessel comparison always comes with very capable and highly sophisticated gray hulls of various types, sizes, classes, and roles intended for each unit. Each role ranges from multi-purpose frigates capable of having anti-ship and air defense capabilities to corvettes focusing more on anti-submarine capabilities and offshore vessels being light-armed ones. Before we start, if you haven't subscribed and are new to this channel, like and subscribe and click the notification bell to always update you on military technology events. Jacinto-class patrol vessels. The Jacinto-class patrol vessels currently in service with the Philippine Navy are 3 ships formerly belonging to the Royal Navy's Hong Kong Squadron as Peacock-class corvettes until 1997. The ships have undergone combat, electronics, weapon, propulsion, and hull upgrades, with the most recent upgrade completed in August 2019. 3 of these ships are BRP Emilio de Jacinto PS-35, BRP Apolinario Mabini PS-36, and BRP Artemio Ricarte PS-37. The ships under this class are characterized by a low freeboard, an Otto Melara 76mm gun turret located forward, a large single funnel stack amidships, and a crane and 2 rigid-hulled inflatable boats. For the BRP Emilio Jacinto, the ship has the Saab 9LV Mk4 Compact Combat Management System, which allows the integration of the ship's navigation, surveillance, and combat systems. Meanwhile, the BRP Apolinario Mabini and BRP Artemio Ricarte do not have a CMS, although both ships use a fire control system from Ultra Electronics. The Otto Melara 76mm compact dual-purpose gun is the primary weapon and is mounted in a turret forward of the bridge. It has a range of up to 10 nautical miles 20 kilometers and can be used against ships, aircraft, or ground targets. It is remotely controlled from within the Combat Information Center by the gunnery officer and has no crew within the turret itself. The gun can fire 80 rounds in 60 seconds from its ready magazine, and the ships can carry a total of 450 rounds. The secondary weapon at the stern is an M242 Bushmaster 25mm cannon in an MSI Defense System DS-25 Seahawk A1 mount. Del Pilar class offshore patrol vessels. The Del Pilar class are offshore patrol vessels currently in service with the Philippine Navy and previously in service with the U.S. Coast Guard as Hamilton-class high-endurance cutters. The Del Pilar class is currently composed of 3 units, namely BRP Gregorio del Pilar, PS-15, BRP Ramon Alcaraz, PS-16, and BRP Andres Bonifacio, PS-17. The Del Pilar class are the first Philippine military vessels to employ the now common shipboard application of aircraft gas turbine jet engines with the use of controllable pitch propellers. The class is equipped with 2 18,000 horsepower gas turbines and can propel the ship at speeds up to 29 knots 54 km/h. The ship was armed with a Mk75 Otto Melara 76mm compact main gun, 2 Mk38 M242 Bushmaster 20mm chain guns at midships, and a Phalanx CIWS system aft. The CIWS and chain guns were removed by the U.S. Coast Guard prior to its turnover to the Philippine Navy. Only the Mk75 gun remains. It was also reported that the Philippine Navy will be getting a sophisticated radar system capable of detecting and tracking surface threats, a Harpoon anti-ship missile system, and torpedo decoy systems. This would be purchased from the United States, possibly under a government-to-government deal. The ship has a flight deck and hangar capable of handling helicopters. Conrado Yap class Corvette. The BRP Conrado Yap is a Pohang-class corvette currently commissioned with the Philippine Navy. She is the service's first modern corvette and one of its most heavily armed units. She was originally named ROK's Chungju PCC 762 during her service with the ROK Navy. The ship has a length of 88.3 meters, a beam of 10 meters, and a draft of 2.9 meters. The ship has a displacement of 1,220 tons full load. It has a rated capacity for a crew of 118 personnel and can operate non-stop for 20 days. The ship has a maximum speed of 30 knots and a range of 4,000 nautical miles. It is powered by a combined diesel or gas and LM-2500 gas turbines. The ship was designed for coastal defense and anti-submarine operations. She is being utilized by the Philippine Navy for anti-submarine warfare training, in preparation for the transition to the new frigates being built in South Korea for the Philippine Navy. The Department of National Defense is requesting more units transfer. The ship's armament consists of 2 Oto Malara, 76 meters through 62 caliber compact naval guns, 2 Oto Breda 40 Misa 70 twin naval guns, 2 Me-32 triple torpedo tubes, 2 Me-9 depth charge racks, and 6 M2HB Browning 50 caliber machine guns. The vessel is also equipped with a mount for a man-portable air defense system that can accommodate either MBDA Mistral, Simbad RC, or Lignex-1 Chiron Via Shorad missile system. The ship is optimized for anti-submarine warfare missions. She will be used to build anti-submarine warfare capabilities of the Philippine Navy, along with the newly acquired ASW helicopters. Prior to these, the Philippines lacked any ASW capability in a region where the number of submarines being operated by neighboring countries was reportedly set to grow. It has become official that the Philippine Navy will acquire the former, now decommissioned, Pohang-class Corvette ROK's Andong PCC 771. It will be delivered to the Philippine Navy in the coming year. Jose Rizal class guided missile frigate. The Jose Rizal class of multi-role guided missile frigates, currently in service with the Philippine Navy, is a heavily modified variant of the ROK Navy's Incheon-class frigates. The ships, which were built by Hyundai Heavy Industries, are specifically accommodated to fit the requirements of the Philippine Navy. The introduction of the frigates improved the capabilities of the Philippine Navy's Offshore Combat Force, which is mostly composed of ships that were retired from other countries and subsequently transferred to the Philippines. Being the most sophisticated naval vessels of the Philippine Navy as of current date, the Jose Rizal class frigates are composed of the following units. BRP Jose Rizal, FF-150, the lead ship of its class, and BRP Antonio Luna, FF-151. The first vessel is BRP Jose Rizal, FF-150, which currently serves as the flagship of the Philippine Navy's ever-increasing and more capable naval fleet. BRP Jose Rizal was commissioned into active service on July 10, 2020, and since then served actively in the Philippine Navy's Offshore Combat Force as its primary Navy flagship at the time. BRP Antonio Luna FF-515, a sister ship of Jose Rizal, launched on November 8, 2019, and commissioned into active service on March 9, 2021. Several of the specifications given for the Jose Rizal class frigates include a 76-meter Oto Malera super rapid naval gun, 2 pairs of canisters for SSM 700K Sea Star anti-ship missile, 2 Simbad RC twin Mistral missile launchers, a pair of torpedo tubes for the K745 Blue Shark torpedoes, Aselsan Smash 30mm secondary gun, and of course the Hanwha Shield. Integrated combat management systems that come with minor issues, especially with its compatibility with Link 16 tactical data link when the first Jose Rizal frigate launched. Miguel Malvar class corvette. The following class of naval vessels on the list comes as an improvement over the Rizal class frigates. Like the frigates aforementioned, the Corvette acquisition project of the Philippine Navy also comes with a pair of vessels belonging to this name: HDC 3100 BRP Miguel Malvar FF-06 and BRP Diego Silong FF-07. with the complete subsystems on board, aside from the towed array sonar or TAS, which may come separately. The HDC 3100 Corvettes come as the most sophisticated naval vessels of the Philippine Navy once it enters active service, even surpassing the capabilities of the Jose Rizal class frigates that these improved variants derived from. Speaking of subsystems, the HDC 3100 Corvettes may have at least 16 cells of vertical launch systems, or VLS, of which systems installed on board that define its capability as either a frigate or a corvette. A 4AU-2 or 8 SSM 700K Sea-Star anti-ship missile system on the naval vessel's midsection. A dedicated close-in weapon system that likely is the Aselsan Gökdeniz 35mm double-barrel CIWS gun by Turkish company. As an improved variant, the Miguel-class Corvette HDC 3100 comes with a tonnage of at least 300 tons, also with a hull length of 118.4 meters, a beam of 14.9 meters, and a speed of 25 knots, a range of 4,500 nautical miles with an endurance of 20 days. Upon the completion of the HDC 3100 delivery to the Philippine Navy, its entry will render it the most capable surface naval vessel that the Offshore Combat Force possesses upon the vessel's entry into active service, surpassing the capability of the Jose Rizal class frigates. HDP 2200 Future Offshore Patrol Vessels. The HDP 2200 Future Offshore Patrol Vessel is a class of 6 offshore patrol vessels designed and built by Hyundai Heavy Industries, HHI, for the Philippine Navy. The Philippine Navy is expecting the delivery of 6 new offshore patrol vessels acquired under its Offshore Patrol Vessel Acquisition Project under the revised AFP Modernization Program's Horizon 2 phase covering the years 2018 to 2022. The Philippine Navy included plans to procure 6 new next-generation offshore patrol vessels as part of its Horizon 2 modernization phase, with a proposal with a budget of $555 million among those approved in principle by Philippine President Rodrigo Duterte in June 2018. Based on open-source information, the new patrol vessels would be smaller, less equipped, and less armed than frigates and corvettes, and designed more for low to medium-intensity conflicts and peacetime operations. Overall, the acquisition of the HDP 2200 offshore patrol vessels by the Philippine Navy count as an overall capability improvement regarding the number of naval vessels ordered, as this further enhances the presence of the country's key maritime assets in asserting the country's sovereign rights in the West Philippine Sea. Future Horizon 3. While the confirmed naval vessels for the Philippine Navy's Offshore Combat Force under the revised AFP Modernization Program have been presented in a list provided above, this does not mean that any future naval acquisition project may happen, as the Horizon 3 phase of this program presents more plan and offers that the Philippine Navy leadership is aiming on. First in note is the future acquisition of combat naval vessels like the corvettes and frigates. In the Philippine Navy's M, that sets the measurement of parameters that set the definition of a corvette and frigate, the former comes primarily as an anti-submarine warfare platform, whereas the latter comes as an anti-air platform. This means that while these options are not final, the Philippine Navy seeks to have the likes of the HD Hyundai Heavy Industries HDF 3800 frigates or Daman Sigma 12516 frigates as the parameters seeking an anti-air frigate, although the parameters and discretion may change depending on the factors that play on the decision-making, such as the budgetary requirements and technical-based ones. The Philippine Navy's Offshore Combat Force currently possesses the most expensive and complex military hardware systems across the entire armed forces of the Philippines, as naval vessels come with integrated subcomponents designed to deter threats from naval vessels, potential adversaries, air threats, and underwater threats posed by submarines. Things will get added later on with the current work-in-progress acquisition projects and future Horizon plans and programs.